Hello everyone. So in the last video we have seen the training of neural network. So while we have done the training, we have seen two class classification problem. You can say it's a dog versus cat, or true versus false, or disease versus non-disease. Now there is another variety of problem where instead of two classes we have multiple classes. So in this video we'll see the details how we can deal with this multi-class classification problem, what changes will made so that our neural network will able to take care the multi-class classification. So let's go into the details. So in case of multi-class classification, let's first start with example. So for example, here we have given this problem 1, let's say P1, and here we have problem 2 and we have problem 3. So in case of problem 1, we are saying here we have two types of example. So this is coming from a cancer data. So one is the positive examples where the person have cancer, and another is the negative example where the person do not have cancer. So means ultimately we have two classes. So this kind of problem is known as binary class classification. Now we have another variety of problem where instead of two classes we have more than two classes. So just for simplicity we have taken three classes. Similarly it can be 30, it can be 300, it can be 1000 or 2000, any number of classes can be there, but the idea will remain same. So just we have taken three class classification example. So let's say we have three variety of classes. One class is sun, another class is moon, and third class is the cloud. Now if you have a image which you can say which contain cloud or sun or moon, then how will represent it, how your network will give the answer. So you can say if we are giving one hot encoding, so one hot encoding means we have decided three places: first place for the sun, second place for the moon, and third place for the cloud. And whatever data we have, whatever image we have, if it contains cloud, then that place will become 1. So in that way you can say it is 0 0 1 because it contains cloud. Now in case of sun it will become 1 0 0. Now in case of moon it will become 0 1 0. So in that way you can define multi-class classification problem. So in that case what you can say, what change you will make, instead of giving output with one class, or you can say one output, you will have three output neurons, or you can say in the output layer we have three neurons to solve three class classification, and these three neurons will give output with respect to one class. So this you can say with respect to sun class, this is the second one respect to the moon class, and third one respect to the cloud class. Now here we have one constraint. Constraint is a picture or an input will contain only one class at a time. It should not have two classes at a time. Then this is multi-class classification. Then there is another variety of classification, that is multi-label classification. In this case, there is no constraint that only one class will present. It is possible there can be more than one classes present. So let's see in this example, it has cloud as well and sun as well. So then your label will be 101. This particular picture has only moon, then it is 010. This has all three classes, so you can say 111. This is known as multi-label classification, so where we have multiple labels. So in this video we will focus on multi-class classification, how to handle the multi-class classification problem. Then in upcoming video we'll talk about multi-label as well. So now before jumping into that, whatever we have gone through, let's go into that and see what is the problem in that. So we have seen a sigmoid function which is solving the binary class classification. So how exactly it works? If a particular output, you can say you have one neuron as a output, if this output has, so let's say the output is given by O1, If O1 is greater than or equal to 0.5, so then you can say it belongs to the class 1. If O1 is less than 0.5, then you can say it belongs to class 2. So you can say when it is greater than 0.5, you say it will become 1, and then automatically this will become 0. Now when if it is less than 0.5, so what is this 0.5? It is your threshold value. So here, if you say the threshold value is given here, it is 0.5 in case of sigmoid function. So if your input which is coming from here, if it is positive value, then it will have more than 0.5 value. Then it will give output C1 going to the C1 class. Now, if this value is negative, so then it will belong to the class 2 that we are looking for in this diagram, or you can say with this diagram it is quite easy to understand. Now, what is the challenge here? It cannot deal with the multi-class classification because it has only a one output. So now in case of multi-class classification, we have seen we have only one class is present. So like you can say if sun is present, so you can say there is one another way. Instead of one neuron, we will put three neurons, and every neuron have a class, or you can say every neuron has a sigmoid function as a output. So this also sigmoid, this also sigmoid, this also sigmoid. Now once this model will train, what will happen? Suppose it contain only sun class, but there is a possibility like this is also giving output. Let's say O1 is greater than 0.5. O2 is by chance giving again 0 greater than 0.5, and O3 is giving less than 0.5. So in that case your classification will become 110. But what is your desired classification? It is 100. So means some way you have to ensure that only one class will have more than 0.5 value as a output. Other class will not have more than 0.5 value. So in order to solve this, we can utilize the probability distribution theory. So suppose in some way we are saying this is giving the probability of a class. So let's say this is giving probability P1, this will give probability P2, this will give probability P3, and based on probability distribution P1 plus P2 plus P3 will equal to 1. So now if P1 will become 0.5, then obviously P2 and P3 will be less than 0.5. That will ensure that we have only one class will be high, remaining all class will be the 0. Right? So how we'll make a function so that it will behave like this? So in order to make that function, we are using softmax. Now what softmax is doing, whenever you have multiple classes or you can say multiple category, then you can utilize it. So here we have taken another example. Suppose we have a particular scene, we have animal, we have human, vehicle. But we are ensuring out of 4 only one will be present at a time. In that case you can utilize this softmax so that only either A will have more than 0.5 value, or B will have, or C or D. Only one will have more than 0.5 value, because the softmax is giving probability distribution, and the rule of probability distribution, like sum of all probabilities, will become 1. So let's see how mathematically we can represent this softmax function. So what they have done, suppose this is the output of your previous layer. Then we compute a temporary value, that is e to the power of these output values. So this will give e to the power 5, e to the power 2, e to the power minus 1, e to the power minus 3. Then this will give some value. Now in order to get the probability distribution, you will divide each of these value by sum of all. Once you divide by sum of all, automatically it will give you a probability distribution. Now you put thresholding here. So you have put it a thresholding here, so you will get a value that is one hot vector, or you can say hard max. So this is known as soft max because it will give the probability distribution. Based on this probability distribution, you can say first class will become 1, remain all will become 0. So softmax ensure only one class will be high, remain all will be low. That is the way how you can solve the multi-class classification problem. Now after that, let's we understand how to represent a image to the system, because that is really important. If you have an image, how system see it, how your computer see that image, how you can feed that image as an input of your neural network. So in order to that, what we can say, the image contain three channels. One is red channel, then green channel, then blue channel. So in case of red channel, it is representing all the values of red channel, or you can say pixel values of red channel. Similarly, in the green channel, it is representing all the values of green channel. Similarly, the blue channel is representing. So what we will do, we will take first all red channel in one dimension, then all green channel in second, and then all blue channel append here. So now we have one vector that contain all the values. In that way you can represent an image. Now definitely we do not have only one image, we have multiple images in hand. So then you can make your entire training set. So what this training set, it will say these are the number of data points, right? So you can say this is your first data point, this is your second data points, means this is first image, second image, third image, fourth image, and so on. And with respect to each image, we have one output, like which class it is belonging. So it is belonging to the first class, it is belonging to second class, third class, fourth class, and so on. So in that way you can represent your problem into the matrix form, so that you can feed your data into the neural network, and neural network able to train the entire system. Or you can say these inputs will help you to train the neural network. So that's it for this video. Let's see in the next video. Thank you.